So my friend Izzy and I recently decided that we were going to start a blog together. Partly to have an excuse to be creative on the regular, but also to have a place to document all of our crazy ventures and adventures. Up until recently, I've been struggling to come up with what I wanted to do for my first post, until one glorious day when I came across the Draw My Life video. It looked like fun, so naturally I wanted to do it. Yeah, I know, how very sheepy of me, but as an introductory post it seemed quite fitting. So I'm officially jumping on the bandwagon. Hi, I'm Angela, but you can call me Ange, without the E. I was born on the 21st of May 1988 at North Middlesex Hospital in North London. I was the first and only child in my family for quite a few years, so you can imagine that I was pretty loved by my parents. And by that I mean pretty spoiled. To this day our garage is literally full of toys, books, bikes, and even a rocking horse from my childhood. I'm not gonna lie, I had it pretty good. Not only that, but I also got to grow up with the awesomest guy ever. My cousin / brother from another mother and father, Jonathan. Or Atotit, as I for some bizarre reason called him. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. Despite living on opposite sides of London, we were extremely close. I mean matching Thomas the Tank Engine jumpers close. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. A couple years later, he got a little sister in the form of Darlene, and I like to think I got a sister then too. As children, she was the abnormally quiet one, Jonathan the crazy hyper one, and me the massive bratty know-it-all. But despite the differences, the three of us soon became inseparable. Obviously overlooking the 30-ish miles distance between us, but seriously, I don't think I have any childhood memories that these two do not feature in. Whenever we'd see each other, we'd spend our time playing Super Mario and Sonic, or watching Captain Planet, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, or just generally pretending we were the Power Rangers. Yellow for the win. Though once we started school, we didn't see each other as often, and I think my parents started to worry that I would get lonely. I remember they signed me up for ballet lessons because my one friend from nursery used to go, and I guess they must have thought I would enjoy it too. Unfortunately, I quit after a couple of months because they made me eat raisins. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of raisins. Thankfully, I wasn't alone for much longer. When I was 6, my little sister Charlotte was born, and I was thrilled to welcome the Barney the dinosaur-loving little diva into my life. Little did I know she'd eventually end up constantly asking me for money, and getting ice cream on my clothes. Charlotte, you owe me a jumper. When I was 8, a wild Matachou appeared. And I mean, appeared. My little brother was in such a hurry to come into this world that he sort of ended up being born at home. I just remember going downstairs to get a drink, then coming back upstairs to find a brother. Okay, I might be exaggerating a bit. But anyways, despite being obsessed with the song Agadoo as a baby, he's now surprisingly cool. And if he's not humouring me by letting me play co-op missions with him on his Xbox, he will more often than not have epic 80s tunes blasting from his room. Something I totally approve of. But yeah, that's my family completed. Although now it kind of looks a bit more like this. Oh my god, Matthew, just stop growing. I don't really remember much of primary school, but I do remember having a pretty overactive imagination. I'd spend break time playing games with my friends that I'd made up where we'd travel to crazy worlds, or where we'd be stuck in a video game and had to play our way out. Or again, just pretending to be a Power Ranger. Seriously, that show took over my childhood. I guess I was always kind of an oddball, so naturally when I got to high school I was still pretty much the same awkward, shy little nerd. Only now I'd acquired braces and a rucksack that was twice the size of me. My cool level definitely took some hit points during these years. I wasn't popular, but I wouldn't say I had a hard time. I had my small collection of friends that I could be my crazy self with, and understood my geeky interests. And looking back, that's all I really needed. This is where I met Sonia, my film-obsessed Bezie, who I would later go off to university with, and to this day we're still great friends. I remember I used to go over to her house on Friday afternoons to revise and study for our exams, but really we'd just secretly play The Sims on my laptop. High school was also around the time that I really started to appreciate music, and ended up teaching myself to play guitar. I even formed a band with Darcy, Charlotte and my cousin Vanessa, where we wrote lame songs about candy and even attempted a rap at one point. Needless to say, I'm glad we never recorded any of these. Though, this did bring me and Vanessa a lot closer, to the point that now we're constantly texting each other or emailing when we're at work, and it's safe to say I pretty much tell that girl everything. She's like my living diary. Growing up, I guess I was always quite a creative person. I loved music, art, and making up stories, So naturally that spurred the decision to go off to university to study biomedical science. Wait, what? Okay, your guess is as good as mine, but I did admittedly love my course. So much so that I even stayed on to become a master of science. Evil laugh. Though, I think the fact that I was obsessed with the idea of breaking into the lab to film the beginnings of a zombie apocalypse movie was partly to blame. The fact that we never got around to it seriously upsets me. My time at Lancaster University was unforgettable. Here I made the most amazing group of friends that I could have asked for. In our second year, we all moved out to live in 2 houses on the same street a couple doors away. And this is when we started to call ourselves the Bridge Roaders. We had a house of 4 boys and a house of 4 girls, and I always loved that because the equal female to male ratio always made me feel like we were in an ongoing episode of Friends. Except instead of drinking coffee in a local cafe, we'd drink 3-for-1 cocktails in Hustle, the cheesy nightclub in town. Over the years, we sort of adopted many more honorary Bridge Roaders to our group, one of which being my blog sister, Izzy. Oh, did I just say that? Now, the 2 of us may have met on our course, but we were destined to become bezies from the moment that we, in a completely unplanned moment of awesomeness, performed the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z at a house party in perfect synchronisation. She's clearly the goten to my trunks. After graduating, we've all gone our separate ways. Some to different parts of the country, some to different countries, and some not with us anymore. But these guys have really played a part in the person I am today, and I will always love them all to bits. Since moving back to London, I've now found myself in a job that has absolutely nothing to do with my course. Like most graduates at the moment, to be honest. But I'm having fun doing it, and I guess that's all that should really matter. If anything, my experiences have taught me that life is too short to dwell on the bad things, or to put your dreams on hold. If you want something, go get it. If you want to do something, go do it. Basically, live the way that makes you happy. For me, that means spending time with my family and friends, finding new ways to be creative, whilst obviously practicing the old ones, meeting new people, taking in the beautiful world around me, and just generally falling in love with as many things as possible. Okay, I'm starting to go all fortune cookie on you, so let me just end the philosophy lesson right there and bring this to a close. I don't really know what the future holds for me, but there's still so much that I want to see and do. From the simpler things like writing and recording more songs with my cousins, making sure to steer clear of raps, to perfecting the Scottish accent, or writing a novel, or travelling to Italy to eat my own weight in food, going to more gigs, and getting one of my drawings commissioned, and finding out who the mother is, to the slightly more challenging, like owning a little coffee shop or bakery, to contributing to vital medical research, or getting something I've written published, or releasing one of my own songs, or even travelling to Paris to catch a taxi to the 1920s. And in the meantime, whatever happens, I'll be sure to blog about it.